In every Garten of Banban game, there has been a crazy dream sequence where the gang goes on wacky adventures with the goal of making it to the beach. And in the most recent dream sequence, the plane we were riding explodes, and the entire gang falls into an ocean, specifically a Givanium ocean.
How did we end up flying over a sea of Givanium instead of an actual sea?
But as a theorist, I can't help but wonder what the dream sequence for Garten of Banban 8 will be like. Now, let me be clear. I am not trying to solve the meaning of these dreams. That's Tom's job over at Game Theory, but my main goal is to instead try and predict the 8th game's dream sequence. And in this video, I am 99% confident that I know where the 8th game's dream takes place, the main premise of the dream, and the hilarious twist that comes at the end of each of these dreams. But first, let's start off simple with the setting, since this part is the one I am most confident in. But to figure out where this dream will be, we have to pay close attention to the previous dream in Garten of Banban 7. The Garten of Banban 7 dream sequence goes as follows. The gang are flying in a plane and argue whether going to the beach is a good idea. During this argument, Banban somehow goes hellish and crashes the plane. We all skydive of the plane in a last resort. And as we inevitably fall into the Givanium ocean, we look above us to see the plane explode in a humorous fashion. Now, although we didn't actually see the gang fall into the ocean, it is implied they did, since there isn't any sort of possible way they could have avoided plummeting into the Givanium Sea. So where could the 8th game's dream take place? Well, I believe it is most likely that this dream will take place underwater in this ocean. The gang will wake up from their fall and realize they are at the bottom of the Givanium ocean. They will, of course, continue to argue and blame each other for the crash. But what would the main premise of this dream be? Well, since the overarching goal in these dreams is to make it to the beach, they will probably try making their way to the shore, which is where the beach is located. Maybe we could even encounter a new, never before seen underwater themed character in this ocean. So far, we have predicted most of the dream. The gang wakes up in the Givanium ocean and begin to argue with each other. But what will be the twist? If you don't know, at the end of every Garten of Banban dream sequence, there is a random and hilarious twist at the end. For example, the dream in Garten of Banban 6 ended with us literally getting hit by a bus, and the one in Garten of Banban 3 ended with Choo Choo Charles jumping the gang, which basically confirms that Choo Choo Charles takes place in the same universe as Garten of Banban, but that's a theory for another day. So now that we know how these twists usually play out, what will be the twist for the dream in Garten of Banban 8? I think that while in the middle of an argument, the gang realizes that they can't breathe underwater other than Stinger Flynn. Maybe a random fish nearby reminds them this, or Stinger Flynn mentions it in the argument. After that, all cartoon logic disappears, and the gang begins to drown, except Stinger Flynn, of course. He is a jellyfish and lives in the ocean. Then, all chaos breaks loose, and Stinger Flynn tries to save the gang, until they are eaten by a giant fish, kind of like in the movies. The dream then abruptly ends. So what did you think about this dream prediction? Did you think I correctly predicted the entire dream, or I got a few things wrong? Let's talk in the comments.